Hello, welcome to my channel. I just this week did a presentation for the local PowerShell user group, Pester in Action. I actually got a pretty good response from that, and my demos were shared online, and I had several people using my demos, and I get some questions about them, and just good feedback altogether. Since that session wasn't recorded, I thought I'd try to go through my materials online here so that I can share it with a larger audience. So I'm kind of new to streaming, so bear with me. I'm going to break my session into smaller videos so they're easy to consume the pieces that you want. Because for my audience, I kind of did a crash course in Pester. So it's really, the talk was about how I use Pester. And I don't know how familiar people were coming into the group and how deep they're wanting to dive with the code and things like that. So my demo gets progressively more advanced the deeper it goes into there. So I kind of want to pull up my script, kind of highlight the structure behind it, so that as I break this into smaller videos, you might be able to find what you're looking for easier and not have to go through material that you may already be comfortable with. So let me get my screen up here. And so first, the intro slide, I work at Every Games here in Austin, Texas. I do a lot of PowerShell, kind of a DevOps type role, but what we're really here to look at are my my PowerShell scripts for my demo. I do have all my scripts now are up on GitHub, so feel free to pull these down, look at them, and walk through them as I kind of go through the demo in these videos. Now, I kind of have it broken down into the stages of progress as I go through it here. Looking at my script itself, if I have all these sections collapsed right now, so the very beginning is just my demo prep, right? Just for any demo, you want to have a few things with the environment set up the way you want. Basic things that my working directory, prompts, and starts my PowerPoint slide. This is something I'd start at the beginning and then kind of collapse out of the way so that nobody ever really sees it. This break trap is something I saw from another presenter once where you accidentally run the whole scripts. It kind of exits out early on. The section on Pester Basics, I kind of highlight the basic commands that Pester introduces. I show things like the test drive, the mock command, and just enough to be familiar with what they're looking at as I go into the more advanced examples. The next section on the basic script with tests, I actually take a simple script and I wrap a test around it. That's something like creating a shortcut on the desktop. And then I make that script a little bit more advanced. I make it an advanced script. I make it an advanced function, and my tests grow with it as the script gets more complex and needing more test coverage. It's just a great example to highlight how a simple script may not need much, but a more advanced script could definitely leverage more of what Pester has to offer. Then I walk through showing a module. This is where we start to cross into the way I use Pester to validate my modules, and just gives me more, I don't know, more insight into mistakes that I may have made just creating the module. So I don't use it as much for, well, I use it for unit testing, but there's other aspects where I am validating the type of code that I'm writing. And as I dive into that module there, you'll get a better understanding of what I'm talking about. The next one is where I have my Pester tests that validate my module is even valid. And this is an example where I start with just the tests, and it shows me, an empty folder with a test that says these are things that should be here. And it points out where I'm missing a config file or I'm missing something, and I add those pieces in, making the tests pass along the way until at the end, my tests pass and I have a fully functioning module because I let the test guide me to it. And in my other examples, I've got some examples from my environment that I've kind of sanitized and I've tweaked a bit, but they really highlight what other ways to use Pester than just testing code. It can be used to validate a system configuration or a certain environment, and this is probably one that people are mostly interested in, but I need to build you up to it. So if you already know Pester quite well, I'd recommend going through my section on how I test a module, because I use those same ideas as I dive into my other examples. And I'll try to hit on both places where I think it makes sense. So with that, I'm going to end this video here. I want these videos to be short and consumable. My talk itself went like an hour 15, hour 20, and I don't expect you to sit here and watch me straight through in one sitting talking about these things. So I'm just going to wrap this video here, and I'll start my next section with just the beginning of my demo. So thank you.